We also went down into Memphis today. We went to Memphis, went to Overton Square. Am I right, Logan? Overton Square, which is a great restaurant down there. What's it called? Porch and Parlor? Yeah. Great restaurant down there, by the way. There's a lot of great restaurants down there. But we went down there and we did some man and woman interviews on the street. We actually got more that we can play for you tonight. But we went out there in the heat, the Memphis humidity. Woo, baby, it was hot. The sweat was running down my back. How about you guys? Were you sweating? Tommy got white. Thomas almost passed out. He got white as a ghost, almost passed out. We almost lost him, man down. I said, well, I would have kept filming that one. So glad Tommy's all right. Aren't you okay, Thomas? Good. Thomas is all good. So we interviewed some folks on the street to ask them, what do you think of the big announcement of President Trump saying today that he's sending in the National Guard to Memphis and, if necessary, to the military to get crime under control. So here we are on the streets of Memphis, and President Trump announces today he wants to send in the National Guard. It's got the approval of the Democrat mayor, the Republican governor, to clean up Memphis. What are your thoughts on this?
I mean, so far it hasn't proven to work in any of the other cities that he has sent them in for, so I don't see it being the answer now. But I guess what's the harm in trying?
Are you scared walking around Memphis?
I mean, yeah, there's definitely a sense of insecurity here, or uncertainty. But yeah, I mean, there's definitely something that needs to be done here, for sure. Whether that be the National Guard, I mean, I think Memphis is on another level than all the other cities as far as crime goes. So I think something absolutely needs to be done. So hopefully this does work. But based on the results of the other cities, it's not too optimistic.
So it might be a short-term fix.
Correct. It might be a fear tactic.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Appreciate your opinion. Thank you. So President Trump announced today he wants to send in the National Guard to crack down on crime in Memphis. He says he's the endorsement of the Democrat mayor and the Republican governor. What are your thoughts on this?
I think he should stay out of the state business. That's what I feel. You know, unless there's a true anarchy situation, but I don't see that the case at this point.
So the governor is sending in like 50 more national troopers. So you're saying let the governor deal with the troops, the state troopers, and the president should stay out.
I would say that's the first step. See how that goes, and then if he needs help, the governor should ask this president to come in, if that's the case. Otherwise, it seems to me that the state ought to run their own business.
Mm-hmm. Well, there are many people that think that, state rights and the whole nine yards. The governor's saying that he's going to be on the phone this afternoon with the president, working out all the details and hammering it out and getting it done. He was very reluctant. Like a couple weeks ago, he said, no, I don't want this. I don't know if it's business, but President Trump says he was getting phone calls from business leaders that are scared, that had to be put into armored vehicles to go out to their business, like FedEx, board member.
Do we want to be run by a military government or not? I don't feel like, I still don't think it's necessary at this point in time, personally.
So you feel safe walking around?
Yeah. It's no problem.
Good, thank you, sir.
Been walking around all day.
Good, thank you, sir.
Bothered me.
Good, except us, right? Thank you, sir. Thank you for taking time for us today. Hey, so President Trump has announced that he is sending in the National Guard with the approval of the Democrat mayor and the Republican governor of the state. What are your thoughts about him sending in the National Guard to clean up crime here in Memphis?
Well, if they can get the job done, then maybe I can support that with the help of the National Guard and the Memphis PD. And maybe we can clean the streets up.
That'd be a good idea.
I think so.
Are you active Army, military now?
I'm a reservist.
You're a reservist?
Yes.
So could you be one of the guys called up?
It's possible. Yeah. You know, if they call us, then I have to go through with it. And that's what we do.
Do you live in the area?
Yes.
How long have you lived in the area?
About 10 years, I would say. I have family down here.
Uh-huh. Are you scared in Memphis? How do you feel about the crime issue in Memphis?
I walk around daily, so I'm always on alert. But I'm not living in fear or anything. I'm just living normally.
There's reports, you can find them online, that the drug cartel, the Sinaloa drug cartel, international drug cartel that reportedly gets their precursor chemicals from China, They're right here in Memphis. They're in major American cities, but they're right here in Memphis. Could you think that could be one reason why he has even said if we have to, we'll send in the full military? You think that's why? Because we got international gangs and drug cartels here too?
Well, if that's the case, then we gotta clean it up. We gotta get rid of the drugs.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for your service.
Thank you for your support.
If you get called up, be safe.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. So President Trump's announced today that he's sitting in the National Guard with the approval of the Democrat mayor and the Republican governor to help clean up Memphis. If he has to, he says he's willing to even send in the military. What are your thoughts?
Well, I would say the crime rate in Memphis is pretty high at the moment, and it makes it kind of unsafe for a lot of people to go out at night. I think it's a good idea to bring in the National Guard and all that stuff, as long as they don't take too excessive of a force, Don't just be pushing people out and doing whatever, do your job and all that stuff. In the end, if it makes it safer, that would be fine with me, but as long as it doesn't cause any more trouble than we're already in.
So how long have you lived in the Memphis area?
I've been in Memphis since I was 4 years old.
Do you feel unsafe walking around Memphis?
Certain parts, like I don't go downtown because downtown's like my no-go area, and I don't go like near North Highland Street or anything. I barely come out here as it is, but I mean, I don't feel unsafe. There are times that I do. It just depends on where I am at the moment. Yeah.
Like any major city?
Yeah, absolutely. Any major city has crime that goes up the wall, and you'll feel unsafe in certain places, but in Memphis, it's a higher, take caution of where you're going and all that stuff.
Well, thank you for your feedback today.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Of course.
We have actually run into several people who are not from the Memphis area. This nice family are from Northern Virginia. I know exactly where they're from, but I wanted to ask them. So obviously, President Trump announced today that he's thinking about sitting in the National Guard to crack down on crime in Memphis. You obviously don't think Memphis is a problem. I don't think you would have chosen to come here and visit, first of all, right? Were you afraid to come to Memphis over crime?
I'm not afraid. I'm with my protectors. And we have a good reason to be here because we are celebrating with friends and family.
That's excellent. Now, what do you think about President Trump announcing he's sitting in the National Guard to crack down on crime here?
I think he's overstepping, that he has no right to do that it's something that the people from here should decide how they want to do it.
Now, he says he has the blessing of the Democrat mayor and the Republican governor. Does that make a difference?
Not to me.
Okay.
I think that it's too much to invite national military into our country like that when there's no good reason for it.
Now, what if you found out that Memphis is a location for the international drug cartel, the Sinaloa network, that they were here in Memphis, working and getting their precursor chemicals from the CCP, China, and doing drugs? Now, does that change it if you're dealing with an international drug cartel tied to the CCP waging war with drugs on America's streets? Does that make a difference?
It sounds like it's some fake news.
How about you? Do you want to comment?
Yes. My feeling is National Guard is for emergencies and things like that. If they really have a problem, then the state should be funded accordingly so you can have a longer-term fix. A short-term, 30, 60 days, is not going to solve anything. Why don't the cartels just go on vacation for 60 days and then come back? So you really, I think things should be methodic, thought out, and done on a long-term basis. Not that we don't support funding for police or anybody else. They should get funded, and if they need to be plussed up, then both parties, Republican and Democrat, should meet and fund them accordingly for the long term.
Thank you, sir. How about you, sir? You're a father, so what do you think?
Yeah.
I guess these are your parents, probably, right?
They
You're a
are.
father, too, and a grandfather.
Yeah. So my opinion is, if there's a lot of talk right now about putting more power to the states, we should let the states decide when they need additional support and provide the support when they're asked for it.
Thank you, guys.
Impose it on them.
Well, thank you, guys. And I hope you have a great time here in Memphis. Have you gone to Graceland? No?
Not this time.
You've been there before, though, right?
Before, I've been here for a couple barbecue festivals, Jazz Fest. It's
Good for
a
you.
great city.
It is a good city. Oh, you've been to the Bass Pro and seen the alligators? Have you been there yet?
We have not been to the Bass Pro here. I have been to a Bass Pro in Texas.
Yeah.
Very impressive.
It is impressive. Well, we're glad you guys are here and hope you guys have a great, safe trip and time here. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
All right, so President Trump has just announced he wants to put National Guard on the streets in Memphis with the blessing of the Democrat mayor and the governor of Tennessee. What do you think of this?
Oh my God, this is unbelievable. Literally, my mom called me. She texted me about it, and I'm just utterly flabbergasted. I just cannot believe
What
it.
about it makes you frustrated?
Because it's Americans against Americans.
Would it change it if you found out that the Sinaloa drug cartel, international drug cartel, which gets their precursor chemicals from the CCP, was here dealing drugs with an international drug cartel and enemy state of China? Would that make it a different thing if he was going after the drug cartels? Would that change it?
Yes, that would.
That would.
Yes, that would. I thought it was for like ICE
Yeah.
or something like that. Okay.
So let's say it's separate from ICE. It's just to go after drug cartels that are tied to international gangs. That changes your mind?
That really does change my mind.
What about if you found out it was about stopping also sex trafficking and kids being kidnapped?
Of course, I would be in full support of that. Yes.
Yeah. So that's interesting because with a little more information or maybe some other parameters,
Yeah.
you completely flipped on me here.
Right,
But you just
right.
needed more information. So do you think if President Trump's going to do this, and it sounds like he is, and he's got the blessing of the Democrat mayor and the Republican governor, do you think they should come out and hold a press conference and say exactly what they're here doing?
I think they really should.
So that people that maybe would be against it, they would be for it, right?
Exactly. If we had more information and we know that, like, we're part of the process as well, because this is something that's going to benefit everyone.
Yeah. So your thing is you don't want to see the National Guard coming in here and helping ICE to round up illegals or any group of people based on their immigration status.
Correct.
But if they're here to fight drugs, deal with the drug cartels, stop sex trafficking, stealing cars and shipping them to other countries, which this is happening, then you're all for that. Which would bring down your insurance, by the way. If that kind of stuff stops, bring down your car insurance.
Well, this is Memphis. Insurance is high anyway.
That's right.
It's high anyway. So, yeah, I mean, yes, I mean, the public does need to be informed about what's going on. And to see all these soldiers or a National Guard coming in, I mean, of course you're going to be curious.
Right. But if you have more information, it might make you more in favor of it and even support it.
Exactly. We need more information, of course.
Good. Well, great. Thank you. You're a good interview. Thank you. Thank you so much. All right. You're going to keep your logo of the company you work for because you just came off of a restaurant. So we don't get them involved and you in trouble. So President Trump announced today that he's going to bring in the National Guard with the blessing of the Democrat mayor and the Republican governor to crack down on crime. What do you think of this?
I do believe that Memphis is an extremely high crime city. I don't believe that bringing in the National Guard will fix all our problems. I feel they're more systemic than anything else. And I feel a higher police presence would just result in higher arrests and overflowing our already terrible prisons. Because, 201 has some of the worst prison conditions.
201 is terrible. It's horrible.
And all we'll do is overflow our prisons, and they'll get out like they have been already. And then the National Guard eventually leave, and our problems will still be the same.
So you're saying it's just a Band-Aid and a political stunt?
I feel it is not a stunt necessarily, but it's to flex his power and to show that he's tough on crime, and he is going to go to the worst city or the most crime-ridden city in the country and fix it, which I don't think will necessarily work.
Now, what if I told you that Sinaloa, an international crime cartel, works here in Memphis dealing drugs tied back to the Communist Chinese Party, who provides them with their precursor chemicals to make fentanyl to kill American kids? If we're talking about fighting an international drug cartel that's set up shop in Memphis, would that change your mind?
I mean, sure. I mean, yeah, we should fight drug cartels. I feel like it's not just a Memphis problem. I feel like it's spread all throughout the South.
Yes.
Of course, starting closer to the border in Texas. And I feel, let's get into a different problem. But I feel like we should, they shouldn't be.
So if it's to deal with the drug cartel, then you have no problem with the National Guard coming here.
That's not what I'm saying we should deal with the drug cartel. I'm not saying that the National Guard is specifically the answer for it, but I do think it should be dealt with.
Do you think the Memphis Police Department can handle their drug cartel? It seems like they're having a hard enough time just dealing with normal crime.
I feel like the Memphis Police Department, I don't know what I feel about the Memphis Police Department. I feel it's underfunded. I feel like it's corrupt, and we focus a lot of our energy and funds into the wrong places at the wrong times. And like Overton Square is not necessarily a high crime part of town, but we do have a lot of car break-ins. We do have crime that's not necessarily violent, and I feel as if we don't have enough focused police in the places where tourists and people are to make them feel safe. or in the communities where these crimes and these problems are happening. But once again, I feel as if a lot of these problems are systemic. And
By systemic, what do you mean? What do you think is the root cause?
Memphis is a historically impoverished, segregated city, and so, a lack of proper education, a lack of proper resources, a lack of proper nutrition in grocery stores, and because South Memphis, North Memphis, those are all food deserts. You can go for miles and not find any fresh produce or a real grocery store like you can.
But is that part of that because crime and the businessman doesn't want to bring or lady doesn't want to bring their hard-earned capital money into a town to set up a grocery store just to have it robbed or looted or shoplifting, and they're like, I can't afford that. I'll go out of business within a few weeks. But if they get crime under control, then I would love to bring my capital in and offer service and have an income at the same time. So don't those kind of go together, making it a friendly environment for people to invest their capital?
I could see that, but a lot of our crime problems won't be solved until we fix the root problems. These kids are growing up in situations and in environments where they feel that their only way out or the only way to survive is to commit crime or is to go out and do things that they shouldn't do because that's what they've been raised around, and that they don't necessarily have any other opportunities.
But an entrepreneur that comes in and sets up shop in a business, he could hire these kids and begin to mentor them, provide them with a job, and teach them a trade or a craft. That's a good idea, right?
Yeah, in theory, of course.
I mean, I trained these knuckleheads, right? And gave them a job. Where would they be without an entrepreneur like me, right?
I don't know, probably at another job.
Probably at another job. Well, thank you so much for your feedback. Great interview. Thank you. You too. Thank you. President Trump has announced he wants to send in the National Guard to Memphis. He says he has the blessing of the Democrat mayor and the Republican governor to crack down on crime. What are your thoughts? And by the way, what do you do?
No, I'm in school.
Oh, you're in law school? You're perfect to announce this.
I'm in business.
You're in business school. Okay, I thought it was law school. Maybe she's the one in law school.
Yeah.
He's in law school. You guys are all hiding out. You guys are afraid?
No,
oh, man.
We're not afraid.
We cannot have it where people, hey, we need people to be able to express their opinion without fear of reprisal, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. First Amendment, right? All right.
America.
That's exactly right. All right. So with that, what do you think about sitting in the National Guard?
I don't really know. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't know until you just said that. I don't know.
Yeah, and you're not the first person we've met today. You've been in school today, you said. Okay.
Yeah, we just got out.
How long have you lived in Memphis?
Not that long. I just came out here to go to school.
Good. Where are you from?
Tokyo.
Tokyo? Yeah. And you came to Memphis. See, we're an international town. Are you afraid in Memphis? Do you think crime is out of control in Memphis?
I don't know. I really don't do anything. It seems pretty good.
Pretty laid back.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Yeah. All right. So if his goal was to come in here and crack down on the Sinaloa drug cartel, international drug cartel, tied back to the Chinese Communist Party, who's making the precursors and giving them to make fentanyl to set up drug deals and run drugs, and they came in here to take that crew down, would that change your opinion or make you more in favor of it?
I don't know. I didn't state an opinion, but
he's a good lawyer, isn't he?
No, but I mean, yeah. I mean, if that's the reasoning behind it, I mean, sure.
Yeah.
Why not?
Right. Okay. What if it's to back up ICE and grab undocumented workers and take them out of here? Does that change your opinion?
You better say no opinion.
What did she just say? What did she just say?
Plead the fifth.
Just plead the fifth. They learned that first.
You're talking about rights. I might gotta plead the fifth.
Yeah. Plead the fifth on that one?
I might gotta plead it.
All right.
I'll interview once I pass the bar.
You got to do one interview to pass the bar. That's the only one you want to do?
Yeah, I'll do it after I pass.
After she passes the bar.